All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining me. This is Derek B. I got a special guest with me today. It's the legendary artist, legendary producer, MC Shan in the building. Welcome, welcome.
And thank you for having me. What better place to be than a legendary old school show?
Well, we appreciate you taking the time and gracing us with your presence. First thing I want to know is how are you dealing with this COVID situation and how are you doing?
I'm fine. I woke up this morning for one, and we all woke up, so that's for one graceful. But COVID hasn't really affected me. I don't bother with people anyway. I'm always on my own.
Right, right. I
But we
see.
see, but during the main mix to COVID, we were out riding in the RV. Me and my family, we were quarantined in the RV. So while people were at home, we were out in the mountains and going to RV parks because you're separated, and the only time you see
Yeah,
somebody at an RV park is to go check in. Other
right.
than that, your neighbors over there, hi, how you doing? You know, you have
It's just
social, but
nature.
right, it's distance, and you out in the open. So we didn't
Yeah.
really, you know.
What a great idea. Um, the next thing is, how do you feel about? I'm sure you're just as excited as me. The first woman vice president.
I'm not really a political. I've been here on
Yeah,
this earth what 55 years, and no matter what president came in or what president went out, nothing has changed for me and my people.
I feel you. I'm right there with you. I'm just excited that the parties that be have opened up and now are a little bit looser with the positions.
But let me ask
If
you a
that's even
question.
if that's
Let me
just a
ask you a
handout for
question.
us. Go
Let me
ahead.
ask you a question. You have a left wing and a right wing, right? Aren't they part of the same bird?
Yeah, no, I believe that I mean, most of us, we're right in the middle. On some issues,
And
we're a little bit conservative. On some other
so
issues,
I
we're a
guess
little bit
that
more
we are the body of
liberal.
the bird and they're the
Yeah,
wings. You know
it's
what
the
I mean? But the
same.
wing is part of the same bird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's the same. And I know that some people aren't all the way awoke to understand that, but it's still exciting to me knowing what I know that at least we have a woman vice president. And for me, that's good enough.
Are you sure about that?
Well,
Are
she's
you
at least in
look?
that position. I mean, I don't know what power she has or whatever, but
Look, you know how women are. She might wake up in the morning and be aggy, and her decision that day just may come because she's aggy that day. We gotta watch these women.
right,
I'm gracious and gratified that she's in there. Do your thing, Shorty, but don't come in the
right.
office with an attitude. You gotta leave that at home.
Yeah,
Okay? When
please.
you come to
I mean, we're
office,
gonna have to just
represent the people.
we just have to wait and see. Um, so let's get back to music. Let's talk about back in the day when you and Marley Marl and the Juice Crew, you guys were getting together. And did you ever think in your wildest imagination that you would be changing the whole structure of music and creating a whole new industry? Did you think that was possible? And did you even think you would be the ones to do that?
None of us thought that we would be the. We never even thought that it would get this far. You know what I'm saying? Never thought that hip hop would make it this far. We just were doing what we love to do. It was what we did in our time. Like our mothers played the records for us on Sunday morning, and we picked up on that music, but that wasn't our music, so we created our own from there. You know. But as far as knowing that we were gonna do what we did, it just was a fact that we were liking what we did, and you can make money at it. Really?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah,
That
that's
was like
always a
a better
bonus,
incentive than anything.
right? Um, Earlier I heard you playing some new music.
No, that
Did you?
wasn't my music. That was just me. I'm in my bus. I built a bus. I built a
Okay,
party
okay.
bus,
Now
y'all.
look,
So when you come to Atlanta, uh, I got you on the
okay.
party bus. Matter of
So when
fact,
you
it's a
say
limousine too.
so you have an actual bus, and you what do you do? This is you do tours or what? Is this your bus that you tour around? Is your personal tour bus?
No, it's not my personal tour bus. Here's what it is. I'm sitting in this my new video headquarters. It's where I do a lot of my videos from. But this
Okay.
bus It's a party bus. You take the pole out of it and you can use it as a limousine. But
Right.
this is what I built by hand. I one day I bought a bus and I just said out of the clear blue sky, I'm gonna make a party bus. But didn't know how much people were gonna charge me to make it happen for me.
Right.
And so after I started seeing how much they were charging me, I just built it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything you see in this bus, the wires, the seat, and this is just my project.
That's amazing. Awesome. That's great. Um, if you had an opportunity to work with a newer artist today, who would you choose, and what would be those? What would be the guidelines?
I don't know. I don't listen to any of the new artists today. So, I don't listen to the radio, none of that. No way I hear my music from. The songs that I like, I hear them on my kids' YouTubes.
Yeah.
And they're not absolutely hip hop, they're rock and roll. They're Imagine Dragon. And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
songs like Awake, I'm alive, and I listen to that. And my music comes from my kids now.
Yeah. No, that's what it is. Hip hop isn't isn't young anymore. There's a good amount of years that have been established already. So there's multiple genres of hip hop, and I think for most of us we don't actually just only listen to hip hop. And were you influenced by anything outside of hip hop when you were young?
I listen to all kind of music, rock and roll, and the shows and albums that I made. I got rock. I've done whole rock albums. Me and Snow were a part of a group called Icon, where it was Sum 41, the rock and roll group,
Right.
me and Snow, and we were a group called Icon International Conspiracy. But it was straight rock and roll with rapping.
Right.
Rah! It's
Yeah.
what it's all about. So my music is all over the place.
Right. No, that's amazing. Um, what is your favorite remix or flip of one of your older songs?
I have never really heard one. I've never really heard one. I know one that I should have got paid for,
Which one was that?
and it was that Nelly. Boy, where'd you get your grill that way?
Yeah.
That was my song all day, Nelly. I
Yeah.
should have
Yeah.
sued you, but uh, it is what it is. But you know it
Right.
was mine. I know it was mine. Who knows? It's never too late. I just might go get my writers for the rest of my life from
There
this
you go.
point on forward. I mean, I need a piece of publishing on that, Shouty.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of writers and publishing and royalties for the rest of your life, let's talk about Snow. How about Informer? Now, some people might not even know that you produced that. They know you're on the song, but you also produced that, correct?
I also produced it and I also wrote on the album. And Informer was something that I did in 1992. And it came back in 2019 when Daddy Yankee redid it.
Right.
And Informer has paid me my whole career. After rap music, Informer has been my bread and butter.
Yes. And then Daddy
And,
Yankee
and look,
brought
Informer
another
bought
another
this bus.
helping.
Yes, Daddy Yankee bring another spoon to the table,
Yes,
you
that's
know,
amazing.
and that's what bought this bus right here. I mean, and when you
Hmm.
when your paperwork is right, it can never come back and haunt you. It's always going to be a
Right.
good thing when your paperwork is right. Because if it was wrong, it's going to be a haunting thing. Imagine if my paperwork wasn't right and Daddy Yankee did that super huge.
Super huge.
You know what I'm
Worldwide.
saying? And I didn't get mine. My paperwork wasn't right. Oh my God, I'd be so devastated.
How did you learn about that? And did you have to go through a few bad situations to learn about how to get your paperwork right?
Bad situations. Bad situations will give you all the knowledge that you need to go forward and get it right.
Right. So you haven't
So
made
a
too
bad
many mistakes twice.
No, I haven't, man. But if I did, I'll do something twice just to show you that the first time wasn't a mistake. But I'm not gonna make the same mistake twice. You get it?
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, at what point did you decide that KRS-One and MC Shan shouldn't have a beef? When was that?
Well, we thought of that early because if we didn't, the powers that be, you know how they closed all hip hop genre, all hip hop spots where you can't do hip hop in too many clubs and too many
Right.
big arenas. Now, imagine at the time when we were doing this, if we were killing each other and shooting each other, hip hop would have just went a different way.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
we took that and said, yo, we can get money. So by us going around the country, me and Chris have done millions of shows together where people think, oh, y'all don't. No, we've done show after show after show with friends like that. And part of the talking crap in rap music, that's what the game was made of in the beginning until it
Right.
got to the point where
Absolutely.
you say something about me, I'm going to shoot you. It wasn't about that in the beginning. Even now, I said things about Chris up until today. Ah, you whack ass rackets. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not worried that if Chris comes in the club and my back is turned to him, I'm gonna get bust in the back of my head with a champagne bottle,
Right. No,
or
yeah,
vice
definitely.
versa. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
a whole different respect that comes with the game that we were in and the game that they're playing now.
Right, right. When that was the back in the day, the old West Coast, East Coast Biggie Pac beef, like were you out there trying to explain to people that they're going too far on this?
I wasn't trying to explain. I could. What do you want to tell me? I'm in the cool zone, right, where I don't do that no more. I'm good. Oh, so you want me to step out of my cool zone and go jump right into gunfire? I could say, you know what I'm saying? Tell people, look at
Yeah.
how we did it, but you know how you gonna tell a little young man how to? You know, you can advise him, but you can't tell him how to do it.
Right. No, true, true.
You can only lead by example. So if the example that I'm setting is me and Chris did this and we alive, follow that. I shouldn't have to say
Right.
anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody wants to claim that our battle was one of the greatest in hip hop, but in the end of the day, me and him are still both breathing.
Right. That makes it even greater.
Exactly.
Definitely.
And so if they want to take anything out of hip hop beef and what rap beef is, take that.
Yeah, definitely. The song MC Space. What was your thought process when you were writing that song?
I don't know. I was high.
There you go.
I was high. But you know what's so surprising to me is that a lot of people mention MC Space. It's like dun dun
That's like
dun
an
dun dun dun
underground.
dun 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 dun.
That's one of those underground hits that you didn't think, like, man, people really,
No,
really got. They love this song.
MC Space. I was an alien from outer space, and I was a rapper, and I came to destroy all you Earth MCs.
Right. It's mentioned a lot. No, for sure.
That's
After
what
you,
surprises me.
yeah, and also after you had success with Snow, did you do any other reggae type production after that?
Well, people sought me out to do remixes. Rock and roll bands wanted me, like this group called Blue Buddha. They sought me out to do music. Mark Wahlberg,
Right.
he sought me out to produce an artist of his called Ital Joe. Rest in peace, Ital Joe. But you know, people were seeking me out to do. What did you do with the? You took a white guy from Canada and you come bring that music over here. And so
Right.
I've done remixes, and people have sought me out to do things that you would never expect.
Yeah. No, that's
Marky
amazing.
Mark, I used to love when Marky Mark used to come to the studio because he would always come with this jar. Need I say more?
Right. He was prepared. Bring your own bag.
He bring his own jar, and I loved it. He would always bless me in the end of the night on top of paying me.
There you go. No, that's a bonus.
There you go.
Well, what are you still recording songs today?
Well, I got ADD, right? And so you never know what I'm doing today. I might say I'm not doing no music, and then tomorrow I'll get up and erratically do a song or something like that. So you never know what. Never believe that I'm not. I'm done. Just don't believe that.
Right, right,
You never can. You know what I mean? I've been calling Chris out on the verses. So if Chris comes with the verses, I mean I got
yeah,
to get back on stage and sing these songs. You know what I'm saying?
right,
But other than
right.
that, I'm not writing any new material at the minute. No, I'm not.
Yeah. How about, have you ever considered any voiceover work? Because I see that Tone Loc, he's like in tons of cartoons, and I think you have that voice that you could be on the big screen, as a character. Have you ever been approached?
I'm a character in real life, so they just
Yeah, that's
like,
what I'm
oh,
saying.
too bad we can't turn him into a check. No, I didn't ever think about it. I didn't ever think, you know. I never thought about voiceovers or whatever. Now, if somebody came to me that knew about that and can say, listen, this is the avenue you take. I'm going to manage you on that. And this is why I'm going to get you this voiceover work. And I'm going to take my 20%, 25, whatever. You could take the 25 because 25% of something that I never was going to get in the first place is not going to
Right,
kill me.
right.
So if
Do you
any
have
of you
any?
know any voiceover things to do for Shan, shizzle
That's
with the
right.
whistle. Boop, boop, boop. Let's go.
Hit us up. We need the voiceover. You got any management deals? Come on down. We'll take the production work. But seriously, hip hop has also merged into the world of
Merchandising.
animation and comics and things like that. Um, have you ever thought of also possibly, a comic book of the adventures of MC Shan?
I've got my own cartoons on YouTube. It's called MC Shan, Planet Cold Chillin'.
Okay.
MC Shan, Planet Cold Chillin'. And I was doing this years before people were doing this now. I was way ahead of the curve. I was always ahead of the curve. Now, if you go look on YouTube and you go MC Shan, Planet Cold Chillin', it's going to come up with a couple of cartoons that I did, animated. Not
Yeah.
cartoon animated, that 3D. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That Toy Story type of stuff. But the time the technology I was using, I
Yeah.
couldn't afford Toy Story look,
Sure.
but it's still that 3D animation. It's not animated cartoon paper where you flip it and the character goes.
Right. 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 What year was
MC
that?
Shan, Planet Cold Chillin',
Planet Cold
2017,
Chillin'.
2016, whatever it was.
Okay. So yeah, a few years back. I didn't have any idea about that. I'm gonna go look that up. We'll post a link to the YouTube channel for
I
that
think it'll
too.
be interesting because it just tells me it's like the moral of the story is that there were a collective band of MCs out to save the universe from whack MCs, which was the Cold Chillin' artists. But the Cold
Right.
Chillin' label was ran by evil emperor called Fly Guy. And Fly Guy
Yes.
just was taking all the artists' money, but it's just a fabrication on non-truth. But when you
Right.
turn something into a story, you have to tell things to make it interesting. And so
Absolutely.
you can go look at Planet Cold Chillin', and then there's a couple of other cartoons that I have on there. It's called
Okay. Yeah. No, we're gonna go look that up. We'll post a link. Another question is, maybe people don't know that Marley Marl is actually your cousin,
Through
or
marriage.
through
Uncle
marriage.
Lucius is our common bond.
Okay.
Uncle
All right.
Lucius is our common bond, you know? And
Right. And so when
but
did
we
you
didn't know it
approach him? When did you
long
ask him
before
to?
we knew that. Look, here's how we figured it out. We had to go do a show at Elmcore, right? And I run up, yo, Uncle Lou, Uncle Lou. And this is who I grew up with. Uncle Lou, my cousin Lou, Marlene, Donella, Alice, Paula. This is my cousin. And then when we get there, Molly is like, Uncle Lou, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So it was like
Yeah.
we figured out that way. But Uncle
Nice.
Lucius is, Lucius Benson, boxer. He advocated. He had drug rehabs in Queens and stuff. Now here's why I would stay away from Uncle Lucius, because back then in the '80s when Uncle Lucius was running the drug rehab, Sham was getting high as hell.
Yeah, that's right.
So I would go see Uncle Lucius and run out real quick because
Right.
I don't want you trying to
You're
hold
gonna
me
lock me
captive. Y'all
in.
want, hey, not yet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're not ready for you yet.
I'm
No,
not ready to come here yet, Uncle Luke. And
that's
ain't no
awesome.
shame in my game telling these stories because each part of
Right.
what I did in my life was what makes me now. I'm not
Exactly.
ashamed of anything that I did. You can't bring it back on me and say, I'm going to blackmail you. You said this. So what? Tell the world. I couldn't give two screws.
Yeah, yeah. And it's, it doesn't matter how people think about it anyways because it's still history. It happened and you are who you are because of it. You know what I mean?
Now, anyone that tries to deny their own history and the things that they did and throw it under the rug like it never happened, you're only fooling yourself because nobody else cares.
Right.
So lying about it, you can tell
Right.
all the lie. Ain't nobody gonna think about it after you tell the lie. They just looking at you,
No.
you lying ass.
Because you're your own biggest fan. You are your own biggest fan at the end of the day.
Hey, but see, there's nothing wrong with being your own biggest fan because being your own biggest fan motivates you to do the things
Yes.
that you that one time you may need somebody else to motivate you for. And so,
Yeah.
if you are your biggest fan, in certain cases, it's a beneficial factor for you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm my biggest fan.
Yeah.
I
You got
push me more than anybody can push me. I mean, you might say something, maybe look at you like, but I'm gonna push me hard. Like I said, when
right.
I bought this bus, I put my foot in my mouth and I said on Instagram, oh, and I had one of them, I'm gonna build this bus by myself. And then that little man that sits on this shoulder said, yo, you know what you just said? You know what you gotta do, right?
Yeah.
And so I built this from, I mean, people, you can watch this on Instagram, me building it from the day I bought this bus to the time I cut the first screw out of the wall. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, you ain't
So
even got to go look for it. The reality show is being put together right now of the bus
okay.
build. So you're
Okay.
going to see it go from a bus with a wheelchair lift to what you see now. And I
Yeah.
did it all with these two, no help,
Does
except
that
to hold the ceiling up.
right? No, that's amazing. It's amazing when I interview other people and they are, legendary performers, but then they tell you about this other stuff that they also do, and you're like, "Whoa, I didn't know you could do that." Also, so it's pretty cool to find out that you're not only a self starter, but in real life, you're not gonna let anyone hold you back, and you're gonna get it.
Now, also, y'all can check me out on my Instagram, MC Shan1. And Shan can also cook. So if you
So
watch my Instagram, you're gonna see me cooking, you're gonna see me fixing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So mostly every other 2 nights I put up a cooking video. You know what I'm saying?
okay,
It's like a Shan can cook, so can
Shan
you.
can't cook.
So can you. And
Now
you
you
never know. I'm not no chef, but I'm a ghetto cuisine. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And
right.
I got the ghetto cuisine pop.
No, that's
MC Shan
awesome
one.
because
MC
you're letting
Shan with the
people.
number one on
MC Shan with
Instagram.
the one. We're gonna put the link up here for that also. I've had a
Appreciate
few
you.
people hit me up and say, "Man, you got to follow him on Instagram. He's hilarious. You're missing out if you're not following him already." So,
Look, and see what it is I'm so glad that there's another avenue that I can take besides music. I'm not just a rapper. I tell people things a lots of times on what my life experience is. I like to do what I do with this Instagram because at one point we only had the magazine and you get that one interview and that's that until the next
that's
interview
it.
comes. But now I can daily all of the people like yourself that have been like, man, I got an interview. We can chat all day, every day. I'm
Yeah,
exposing myself to the people that love me, in a way that a lot of artists are not. I mean,
yeah,
I answer, I like mostly every comment. You know what I'm saying? I check my Instagram as if those are my personal people. And if you took the
right,
time to say something to me, I'm either gonna like it or this, that, and the third. But it's not. You're not gonna come on Shan's Instagram and say something and feel like you're left out.
right. MC Shan is not Hollywood. That's for sure.
Oh, that's for sure. Once you get to my Instagram, you'll see he's
Right.
far
It's a
from
different
home.
kind of Hollywood over there. That's
Uh,
amazing.
and so we can get a check off that, but we don't know where to put it. He cusses too much. Although y'all
Right.
have seen me conduct myself in a proper manner during this interview here, when I'm on
Yes.
my own,
Yeah. It's a different story.
it's a whole different ball game. That's my world, and you in it at that point. But
Awesome.
right now, I got to do what the Romans do. So,
Yeah, yeah.
seems
Okay,
I'm
so
very
one
versatile.
more question. Earlier you said that you're not ashamed of what you did in the past and it is part of you already. Would you mind sharing a story about sometime that you were with, let's say, Nice and Smooth? What was your crazy story with those guys?
See, but now you asking me to tell somebody else's business, which is something that I don't do.
Okay, then
And
just tell us
so,
the story at a big show.
at a big
It
show,
don't have to be a bad. It don't have to be a bad story.
no, no, no. But regardless of the fact, it's not my place to tell
Yeah.
anybody else's business. I mean, if it's a funny story, yeah, yeah, Nice and Smooth was there, and that was there.
Right. Right.
But I'm not going to get into any of them,
Yeah.
them
Okay,
controversial
then
stories that people
what
got.
about a memorable performance with those guys?
Well, I never did. I never did want really shows with them. We would always do little spot dates, and every show was memorable with these old artists that old like myself. I mean, we were just having fun, and well, like I
Right.
said, we respected each other. We didn't look at each other like so. It was like, yeah, we just did a show. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was just that mutual respect thing. It's unlike we looking at
Yeah.
them like, yo, you know
It
what I'm
wasn't
saying? We had our
competition.
ego. It was competition. We had our ego. And the
Okay.
Juice Crew's ego was, okay, you want to be the headliner, you want to be big star, you want to what you call it? You just better follow. The Juice Crew would get on first, last. It don't matter. You just better rock this at the drop of a dime, baby. Nobody could
Right.
mess with the Juice Crew back in the day. Oh, y'all want us to go on first? Okay, better be able to follow.
Right.
That was the
That's how
motto.
you do it. You let the music and the performance speak for itself.
There you go.
Well, man, it was a great interview. I want to thank you and appreciate definitely everything you've done for hip hop and everyone who's come after you and laying the blueprint for everybody. We definitely appreciate all that. One more time, what's your Instagram handle?
It's MC Shan with the number one. And how I always end my videos. It's your man Shizzle with a whistle. One time for your mind, two time for your soul. Ain't nothing standing between you and success but air and opportunity. It's time to go get it.
There it is. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. And hopefully another time we can get you back on here and talk about
Anytime. You know how to get me.
the reality show that you're producing about the bus. We want to get into all that.
Like I said, my man Jay Supreme, my partner from we grew up together. My man Jay Supreme is putting a part of the footage together. He's editing it because every video I start says, "This your man Shizzle, one time for your mind, two time for your soul." He's like, "But we can't have you saying that every clip."
Right, right. But that's
So
just you.
we're gonna cut that part out. So he's doing a nice job editing it, and a big shout to Jay Supreme. Y'all can follow him on Instagram, J Supreme, with just a J.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for having me. Appreciate the folks that took time to listen and look at what we're doing. Appreciate y'all. One time for your mind, two time for your soul. It's your man Shizzle, and I'm out.